Welcome back, all drone enthusiasts. In this video, I'll show you exactly what you need to know to make your drone footage look the way you imagine it, not like your average aerial shot. We'll go through camera and control settings and choosing the right ND filter. These are the three basics. Once you nail them, you'll just repeat them every time you fly. But then, the most important sections, how to think about light before you even take off. Flight planning, sun position. And at the end, I'll show you how to pull better colors out of your D-Log footage in CapCut. So if you want your shots to finally look the way you imagine them, let's get into it. As the first step, camera settings. We'll set the resolution, FPS, color mode, ISO, shutter speed, and white balance. First, I set the maximum video recording quality and frame rate. In my case, that's 4K. I mostly shoot at 30 FPS because that's when my DJI Lito X1 drone uses its camera's full potential. I switch to 60 FPS only when I know I'll want to slow down that particular shot in editing. Next is color mode. Normal mode gives you a finished, contrasty image straight out of the camera. No editing needed. D-Log captures a much wider dynamic range. I know a lot of beginners will be thinking, no, I'll just shoot in normal mode. I don't want to edit anything in any program. But it's really that simple. A few clicks and you get natural colors that would be hard to achieve in normal mode. See for yourself. I'm not saying it's a Hollywood-level shot, but the color quality is pretty solid. Next is ISO. I always try to keep ISO at the minimum value, ideally 100. Because any higher value could cause noise in the image. Next settings is shutter speed. The main thing to remember is that shutter speed is always double the FPS value. Next is white balance. I set the white balance on location, based on the current lighting conditions, usually around 5,000 degrees. And I almost forgot, don't forget to set sharpness and noise reduction to -2 as well. Sharpness and noise reduction at -2 gives you a cleaner image without artificial sharpening, and you shape it better yourself in the edit. This is the basic setting I use every time I fly my drone. It lets me use its full potential. I only increase the FPS to 60 when I want to slow down shots. In that case, I'd need to adjust the shutter speed to 1/120th. The second section is control settings. Now I'll show you the settings I use when I'm going for a cinematic look. This applies to the drones and gimbal's speed. Let's open the settings and find the control section. We'll click on Gain and Expo Tuning. Here we can set each mode separately: Cine, Normal, and Sport. I'll be adjusting the settings in Cine mode. I'm not saying these are the only or ideal settings. Everyone can adjust them to their own liking, but they'll at least give you a solid starting point to work from. I'll show you how I have it set up for cinematic mode and why, but the main idea is always the same. The drones and gimbal's movement should be as smooth as possible, with no jerkiness at all. DJI's Cine mode already comes with slower movement by default, but in my opinion, it needs to be slowed down even further. Okay, enough talking. I'll show you how I have it set up. I'll show you a screen recording of my settings, and at the end of this section, they'll be listed on screen just like with the camera settings. Creating this video took a lot of time and effort, so if it helped you even a little bit, I'd really appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe. It's just one click for you, but it's huge motivation for me to keep going. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. I'll definitely reply. I use these settings whenever I'm trying to get a really nice shot. It might feel slow, maybe even too slow, but in post-production, you'll see it's worth it. Next up is ND filters, and it's actually very simple. Think of an ND filter as sunglasses for your drone. The brighter the sun, the stronger the ND filter you need. I mostly use ND16. It works well even when it's overcast. When the sun gets stronger, I reach for ND32 or ND64. The same goes if I've got harsh sun in the frame for a moment. and I only pull out ND256 when I'm shooting directly into the sun. To help pick the right ND filter, I'll be using two helper tools that I turn on in the drone's settings. First is histogram. It's a small chart with a graph, and I try to keep it centered. On the left side of the graph, the image is underexposed, meaning dark, and the further it stretches to the right, the more overexposed, meaning brighter, the image becomes. Next up is the overexposure warning. It shows striped patterns, highlighting the areas where the image is too bright. Now I'll put on a stronger ND filter, ND64 to be exact. In this case, you can already see right away that it's significantly better. The white stripes on the screen now only show up when the camera is pointed directly into the sun. I think we can move on to the next section of settings, planning your flight based on time and sun position. The basic rule here is to try to keep the sun to the side of the drone's camera. That's why the term golden hour is used. The sun is still low, so the filmed subjects cast beautiful shadows, which adds detail to the shot. That's why this section goes hand in hand with flight planning. The sun will never adjust itself to where you want it. Notice that the most beautiful shots will always be when the sun is coming from the side. Ever since I started trying to follow this rule, keeping the sun to the side, or at least keeping it in mind, the quality of my shots has gone up. In the next shot, you'll see that I had the sun behind the drone, and while some areas are sharp, they just don't look as good. In this shot, the sun is already fairly high. Golden hour ended a while ago, and you can already see it in the image quality. And on top of that, I'm also facing into the sun. This shot is beyond saving in post-production. But that's okay. No need to panic if you miss the sunrise. You can get the same result in the evening. Just keep in mind the light will be hitting your location or subject from the opposite side. All of these shots in this section were filmed during the morning golden hour. In the morning, I had a bit of cloud cover, which is totally okay. Sometimes cloud cover can even help us, especially when we're filming around midday. For example, this shot was filmed during golden hour, but in the evening. I'm not saying I'm comparing morning and evening golden hour against each other. Each one has its own charm and its own specific colors. But whether you're filming in the morning or the evening, your shots are going to look genuinely beautiful. It'll take you 2 levels up. I'll be straight with you. Back when I used to fly at any time of day and wanted nice colors, I spent ages messing around in CapCut, and the result still wasn't great. But ever since I understood the magic of golden hour, all I do with my D-Log footage is apply the original LET for my drone, the DJI Lito X1, and I don't touch anything else. It would be a shame to ruin those natural colors. Okay, let's move on to the last section now. I'll show you how to download the original LUT for the DJI Lito X1, and we'll apply it to the raw D-Log M footage. In your web browser, type in DJI Lito X1 LUT download. Download the LUT from the DJI website. It immediately offered me the option for macOS. It depends on what you're using. Remember where the file gets saved, then you'll open it in CapCut. You only need to do this once, and from then on, it'll be saved there forever. Now open CapCut and click on the option to create a new project. You'll add the LUT you downloaded into the program like this. I already have 2 there, one for Flip and one for the Lito X1. Click the Import button and find your downloaded file there. Select the file and click the Open button. Now you'll have this LUT available in CapCut permanently. Now I'll import my D-Log M footage into the program. We'll then move it onto the timeline. This video took a lot of time and effort to put together, so if it gave you even one useful takeaway, A like, comment, or subscribe would genuinely mean a lot. It costs you a second, but it keeps me motivated to keep making these. And if anything's unclear or you've got questions, drop them in the comments. I'll get back to you. We apply the LUT to the footage like this. Click on Adjust, and in the options, find the LUT section, where it'll show the DJI Lito X1 LUT. Click on it, and we're done. If you made it all the way here, I genuinely want to thank you. This was a longer, information-heavy video, and the fact that you watched it all the way through means a lot to me. I hope you picked up at least something you can use the next time you go out flying. Thanks for watching, and until then, happy flying.